And we should be live. Oh, did my mixer thing mess up again? I might have a video delay that's throwing me off. That's why we can't have nice things, guys. Yep, there's a video delay. Let me remove that. Yes. Close. And hey, no more delay. Check that out.
Yay!
I could have just, I suppose, turned it off instead of deleting it. But what do you know? hey, Kippy the boss. Hi. Hello, SBN lover. Hello, Speed Rice 3. Just saying some highs. Welcome everyone to the 7th episode of Dungeons and Dragonites. I am your host, SBJ. Before I introduce everyone, before I get into things, I don't know what I was gonna say. There's some stuff here. Just letting the room fill up a bit. I don't want to get too ahead of myself before we dive into this episode.
It was all a plan.
It was all a plan. Greg will have a big recap here in a bit if you missed or you're not caught up or whatnot. I'm just making sure everyone is here, so keep looking at our faces as I figure out any technical details. Logan just disappeared. In his place is a Froakie. Oh no, not Logan. Sorry.
Wait,
Jeff.
what?
You're both wearing red shirts, so I wasn't like clearly paying attention. I was just reading chat and side eyeing.
I'm glad to know that.
In your gray hoodie, you look like literally all people.
Perfect. I try to go for the standard white male demographic. Really try to hit that home. I'm opening a vitamin water.
Wait,
okay.
Next week we should all wear the same shirt to throw SPJ off.
Everyone wear the same shirt. Pay attention.
Everybody pick a color.
All right, so if this is your first time watching the stream or listening to the audio version, I'm moving my amiibos here to get off my D&D sheet. There will be it will not be crystal clear audio. We are recording a bunch of people at once. We are doing this live, so if you hear papers rustling or people writing or typing out commands to roll dice, that's all.
Then deal with it.
That's what you signed up for. So if you're listening to the audio version, I do cut and edit and try to condense it because there's times where we're silent as we're rolling or thinking or trying to make decisions. I do try to compress all that, but the visual Twitch version that we live stream every Tuesday night is the not the preferred place, but is the source. As my hood falls down, is the source of everything for that. And with that being said, I'm your host SBJ. Below me, playing Wendy, is Travis.
You did it. We did it, folks. The confetti is falling. That's the end of Dungeons and Dragonites forever. It was a good run. We made it.
win!
Man, now I feel like I should have saved that for the last episode. Next to Travis is Jeff, who is playing Emojis.
2 in a row.
Yeah.
Is that damage bonus now for this game?
It's because I had a week to practice. Next to Jeff is Logan, who is playing Widowmaker Stantley.
Okay, you can't win them all. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Is this where we reveal the bait and switch? So we're just gonna have a Clash Royale stream instead of D&D.
This is where the dice rolling on the side changes to Clash Royale because it's the perfect.
Just all looking at our phones.
Perfect vertical height. Actually, I gotta check my chest here. I got a silver chest that unlocked. Above Logan is Greg, who is our gracious DM. Our dungeon master, as the kids call it.
Yes.
And Greg is playing a variety of characters, also trying to screw us over most of the time.
Yep. Just murderous.
Cool. If there are any, I don't see our moderators here yet. They might be running late, so I'll pay attention to chat. If somebody sounds too quiet, if I sound too loud, if something's not audio or visual wise working out, just post in chat and I will try to address it. Other than that, Greg, why don't you give us a recap of what happened last time? You were gone last week. You were on a vacation.
I was gone. I was on vacation. So nothing happened, and I learned all about Polynesian deities. So I'm prepped for Hoenn. Let's do a overall recap. Since we are 7 episodes in, we'll cover everything that has happened so far. So you all had the mysterious dream. You all woke up with tattoos in various places. You all arrived at the ironically named Waterside Inn because it's not on the edge of the water. You met Gloria the bartender and her 2 beautiful serving people. You didn't talk to her all that much. Found out that Ephraim went off to the east into a ravine. And you know that he's the one that's supposed to have information about your tattoos, so you went after him. You ran into Bianca, the farm girl who gave you the 2 berry juices. Hint, hint.
And we didn't actually get any information from her.
Yeah, we're noobs.
Oh, I
went
have
off
a
the
berry
ravine.
juice.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down.
Went off, found the ravine, killed a couple of Tangela, scared a bunch of Rattata, found a bunch of dead goblins, went through maze, ran into Meepo, made a deal with the Kobold Queen to retrieve the dragon, went and killed some goblins, found Bagon the dragon, had a whole conversation about what to do, ended up convincing Meepo that his queen sacrificed herself to Bagon, which he got upset over, which attracted goblins. A fight ensued. Bagon attempted to kill Meepo. Wendy saved Meepo after taking 2 swords in the back to run and heal him. Found the Goblin King. Meepo developed sorcerer powers. Ephraim told you about your tattoos, and you're looking for Ephraim's missing party. There are 2 humans and an elf. You found the king's throne room, killed him there, took a short rest, went down into the hole, ran into the bugbear of the 2 Houndour, killed Dunsparce that they were going to eat. They said, don't let them get to the boss. Fights ensued. Damage was taken. Wendy was told to get good, which hopefully she will. And you decided to take a short rest back in their sort of hunting lodge. And that is where we stopped.
So, something about berry juice. What is that? I thought it was just a healing potion.
It is. I'm just reminding you that you have 2 of them, since certain people, Wendy, went down.
Wow, I'm doing fine. When do you want some? I don't have any of that berry juice, but I got good berries for you.
I actually have one of the 2 berry juices. If my character sheet doesn't lie to me,
I think you have the other one.
So I might just take care of. I think I'm at 6 hit points apparently. How much is that berry juice gonna bear me?
2d4 plus 2.
Okay, yeah, I might as well do that.
I'm at
I'll drink
4 hit points.
I got 4 good berries we can pass around as we need them.
Whoa!
Well, I'm A-okay.
Bianca makes good berry juices. Max healing over there.
Oh! I
Max
was
is-
like, what was the celebration? But yeah, 10.
I will use my berry juice here. Rolling
Let's see how good.
2d4 plus 2. Not minus 2. Nope. Forgot the slash.
/R. And you don't have to type out rolling. You can just do /R space.
Dang, Travis, don't school me here.
Speed things up a little bit.
There we go. 6. So that puts me at 10 out of 16.
All right, so you're taking a short rest in the hunter's sort of cave area. There was a tunnel that went off. That if you sort of explore the tunnel, you can see that's where the Houndour ran, but you can also see hints of many more Dunsparce, and you sort of get the sense that the tunnel leads you away from. It sort of leads away and down from this fortress, and it seems to be just like where they go off and hunt for food while they're staying down here. Like your initial sort of explorations, you can go about 10, 20, 30 feet, and it just keeps going down, and it's completely pitch black down there.
I rolled a D8 to heal with one of my hit dice while we did a short rest. That's why that was there.
All right.
Okay.
Yes. And you add...
We lose Greg here.
I think I'm... Oh, yeah. Is that Greg or is that me?
Greg was breaking up a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, when you roll your hit dice, don't forget to add in your Constitution modifier to your healing.
Oh, so that would be 2 more.
Yep.
3 more, actually. Okay, so yeah, I'm full health now then. Okay. All right. So we're gonna chase Toaster Strudel.
Whoa. Who's
not?
Toaster Strudel? What did I miss?
One of the Hound Hours.
I did not know we named it.
That we did.
They're not yours to name.
I mean,
I'm just naming them for
we
convenience.
can name them.
You can name
We might
anything.
not call
You can
when
name
we
it.
call that.
This is true.
And his name.
A creature like that should really respect when someone as important as me makes a name for it.
That's true
They
enough.
are unschooled in the ways of Wendy, as most people are.
Yeah, I'm down for going deeper into the cave.
Yeah.
You can either follow this down. You also know going back out into that large room, which was sort of the mushroom/refuse room. There was also a door that led out of there.
I mean, Stan just wants to follow Toaster Strudel. He wants to make friends with a dog.
For some reason, that seems like the right way to go to me, too. I don't know why.
After
Glad you
Toaster
finally
Strudel,
agreed with me.
Yes?
I was just gonna say I'll just bring it up the rear here and just follow along.
All right, so you're going to head down the sort of dark tunnel. Everybody can make either survival, nature, or investigation checks. Whichever you think is your best.
Survival would be my best. Was that a D20 plus the spec?
Correct.
Where is nature?
Nature is a wisdom.
They're in alphabetical order, so halfway down,
Yeah.
basically.
okay, so
All right. I guess I'm making a nature check.
I'm doing a survival check.
investigate.
Mine was survival as well, but didn't go too well.
Are we rolling a d20?
Correct.
I don't know why my dice didn't show up, but I rolled a.
You didn't do
Oh yeah,
one d20. You just did roll.
Just
You just did.
roll. Just
20.
add me 20
Just
plus
added 20.
4.
That's,
Get
that's
me
a
the best.
sneaky way to do it.
Just crit me at all times.
The complete opposite
fail,
of
more
what
like it.
I,
Yeah, that's what you get, Steve. You get the 1.
Alrighty. So, as all of you, as you're sort of walking down the tunnel, you get it starts going down, like really far down. you eventually sort of see a lot of unearthed, like mounds of dirt, and Emojis actually sees sort of tufts of fur, and sort of infers that most likely the Houndour were dragged underground by the Dunsparce. And you can sort of, out of the corners of your eyes, you kind of see them watching you, and you get the sense that you're trespassing on their territory a little bit. They're not overtly hostile towards you, but seeing as they've been actively hunted, you sort of get the sense that this is not a friendly place.
Are they all
Well, fellas,
underground,
just
or
kidding.
do we
Let's
see
go
some?
back. Sorry.
Yeah, I get a sensation that we aren't supposed to be here, and we should probably turn around, or else
Especially
we could get attacked again. And I'm really nervous about Wendy's health. Based on last. Well, I mean, you're fine now, but we can't redo what we did a few minutes ago. So.
Emojis, you finding those tufts of fur, I feel like they want to eat us, so maybe we should leave.
I don't know if you hear the motorcycle in the background that sort of breaks the ambiance.
That's the deep roar of the tunnel.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Before
That's what Dunsparce sound like. They just go, oh.
So before we listen to the cowards who are saying that I'm the wimp and I'm the one to be worried about, while they're the ones saying we should turn around and not even try this challenge, I would like to know if we can even, how many of these Dunsparce do we even see, or are they all underground?
They're underground. You see at least 8 different mounds of where they've burrowed. They could all. It's hard to tell if that's one making multiple or if there's up to 8 of them. Having seen the body, you do know they're about 4 feet long, and you don't really know what they do.
So 8 times 4 is
Sure.
30 feet of Dunsparce horror.
Yes.
So Dunsparce wouldn't have been a Pokemon that I would have seen a lot of. I guess I wouldn't have seen a lot of Pokemon generally, but
No.
Well, we saw
Stant
one
will-
last fight.
Stant will definitely make a live drawing of some of these Dunsparce, since all I had was a rotting corpse before.
You can go ahead and make a perception check, Stant, and see what you can pick out.
All right. This sounds bad. I got an 8.
You see one for sure, and I am going to have you make as soon as I can find my notes. Constitution saving throw, please.
Ooh. All right. Constitution. All right. My Constitution's +3. I do not have saving throw advantage, so just +3. Nine?
All right, so all of you sort of watch Stan. He sort of looks around and he gazes into one of the holes, and suddenly, like, his entire body stiffens, and he falls over backwards, paralyzed.
okay. In reaction to that, I'm gonna cast.
WTF!
As a reaction to that, I'm gonna cast Thaumaturgy. One of the things it says I can do is create harmless tremors in the ground for a minute, and I'm gonna make tremors around around all of us so that they keep their distance, hoping that shaking the area around us will prevent them from.
And if they do
From
come out,
approaching.
then I'll follow up with Thunderwave to send them back. But
All right. So you sort of start the ground rumbling, and you all sort of hear the burrowing as they sort of pull back away from you, not really sure what you're doing. And after like 30 seconds, Stant starts getting sensation back in his limbs enough that he can start moving again.
That was weird. Let's leave. I don't want to be here no more. This is stupid. These weird drill worms are dumb.
Did they bite you? What happened there?
What happened?
I don't know. They looked at me funny. They looked at me crossways, and I just stopped moving.
My character just
Stan.
my character
ahead,
just
Steve.
pushes everyone aside and runs towards the mob that stunned Logan.
All right.
SBJ, no.
SBJ!
What are you doing? Don't run into him.
I should just fireball SBJ right now and stop him.
All right. We will roll initiative since you are deciding to engage.
Since one of us is starting to engage.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh boy, here we go.
Oh man, I'm gonna try out my cool new.
Yeah, I got new spells.
Does SBJ get a surprise round? Because I sure am surprised.
We'll see how well he rolls. He may. All right, so Logan got a 12.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur. Very important Bulbasaur. Shoot.
Sorry.
I rolled a 9 for our audio listeners.
I feel like Deep Pepper is real disappointed in you right now.
I rolled a 6 because I was just so taken back by SBJ's assertiveness to engage with the worm-like drilling, glaring beasts in the ground.
Apparently, I having known SBJ this long was just waiting for the moment where something like this would happen because I rolled an 18.
Ever since that get good response, you just been watching him like a hog.
Yeah.
Screw up.
That's all it took.
Guys,
Right.
I need another spell.
Yeah, I hope you guys didn't want Stant to do anything or anything. He's out of stuff to do. I guess I have another wild shape.
You get them all back. You took a short rest.
Oh yeah, I get both my wild shapes back. Rad. But I don't get my spells back. So,
Nope.
but yeah, that's fine. I'll just be a Linoon.
All right, so super fast action. Wendy gets to go first.
Hey, so I guess
Remember
We
last
have
time,
no way
get
of-
good.
can we see how like wide the tunnels are? Like how that's a weird question, but it'll make sense in a second. How wide is the diameter of those tunnels?
About 2.5 foot wide.
Okay, because I think I am gonna try to. So, Emojis, are you with me on this? I might cast Create Water to make 10 gallons of water.
Oh, yeah.
And then have you do Shape Water and try to drown out the things by pushing it into their holes.
Wendy, I'm down if you're down.
All right.
Thought we were keeping this PG.
I knew somebody was going to make the joke, and it was not going to be me. It's remarkable restraint on my part.
Yeah, so I...
Hey, Greg,
Yes.
as Stant, like, I can turn into a Dunsparce. Do I, like, what I'm telling you is I just read all the Dunsparce stats. Can I reveal that to our friends? Or is that just a Stant thing that I would... would I know that?
You know it when you're that creature, but it's not like you can. You can give sort of general senses what you kind like.
So-
like you can say, "Oh, I know they're strong," or
Well, they aren't that strong, guys. We're probably fine to take on. I mean, a bunch of them is gonna be a problem, but don't group up because they can stun a lot of us at the same time by just looking at a general area.
Well, I was going to say, Wendy, my shaping water does not cause damage, but I could either freeze the holes so they can't come out, and I guess we could move on, or I could push them out, just force them out of their burrow. And
I like the freezing the whole situation. It seems like a non-violent way. I mean, these things, like, sure, they paralyzed us, but it seems like they're more afraid than hostile. If you like that solution, I kind of do.
Yeah, we could just freeze them and get on
not even them.
way.
Freeze the way they get out their holes.
Yeah, like just freeze the whole shit.
All right. So Wendy,
I
are you
cast
making
create water, and
okay.
Emojis on his turn can do what he wants with it.
All right.
I mean,
so you just sort
I'm
of
gonna teamwork,
Great.
but
yeah. So I look to. Can I role play this a little bit?
Yes.
I look up to not the sky, but the ceiling, and I think I touch my holy symbol, the symbol of Xerneas, and I kind of whisper, "Hey, this is a weird one. I'm gonna need a lot of water. Can you help me out?" And then the water appears in front of me.
There's a slight gentle breeze, and 10 gallons of water appears.
Gotta say, I didn't think that you could just talk to Xerneas and that would happen. That's weird.
He and I have an interesting relationship.
So Meepo is standing behind Wendy and just sort of looks at Wendy like not sure what to do. Like he doesn't understand at all what you're doing. So
just hold on, buddy. You'll see in a second.
All right. Logan, you're next.
I will hold my action. Stan just sort of backs away from the hole that he was in. He sees that his friends are making a plan, and I'll just hold my action. If something tries to attack me or like do that look thing, I'll whack him with a shillelagh, which my bonus action I'll be shillelagh.
All right. SBJ.
D Pepper was mad at me for walking in, so he followed me, and we began to wrestle each other. And then we thought mid-wrestling that we would keep the performance up to try to distract the Dunspars. So I would like to roll a performance roll for distraction purposes.
All right. Make me a performance check.
That is a +5 for me.
Oh, wow.
19.
Oh, yeah. So those of you who weren't SBJ wrestling fans now know why at one point he was considered one of the best.
Oh, I told y'all.
Apparently, when it doesn't matter, he's great. When it does matter, we'll see. But all of you all of you are sort of watching this show, and you all sort of see that 6 heads have popped up and are all sort of also watching the show. These sort of big yellow bulbous heads with very tightly shut eyes, and they're a ways away. They were pushed back by the tremors, and so now they're sort of like,
how far away are they?
Watching. They're about 15 feet away.
Okay.
And that brings us to Emojis.
Can I move and perform action?
Yes.
Because I need to get within 5 foot. So can I move 10 feet forward?
Yep.
And so I look at Wendy and say, I'm going to take that and move 10 foot forward with the 10 gallons of water. And I want to create 10 divided by 6. I can't math. I can math, just not in 30 seconds. I want to put a big, small dome of ice on top of them and lock them and suffocate them.
No, don't suffocate them. Just make them not be able to get out their hole for a second.
Can you put an air hole? Yeah, can you put an air hole in those things? How shapely can you shape this water?
Stan, they try to take you down.
No, I don't care. Don't do it.
The ice is going to be
You
really
can poke
dense.
holes in them in a second.
I'm gonna do it.
Stay out of this.
All right, so this is the most water you've ever had to deal with previously. You're working extra hard on doing this, and you do manage to create ice sort of dome that blocks them off, but also sort of takes up most of the cave because it's a lot of water.
Mm-hmm.
Ephraim sort of stands back, not really sure. Again, it's like he's really sort of intrigued by this whole wrestling thing. Like, this is far more interesting than the ice dome right now.
I get it. Welcome to Ice Dome.
All right, so the Dunsparce are all sort of watching the show, and then they see the ice dome sort of come over them, and they immediately just start burrowing down into the ground.
Yeah, I just realized that now that they can probably just dig up outside of it.
Let's just leave, y'all, real quick. Like, run away. Let's go. They're gonna look at us, and we're gonna not be able to move.
Yeah, I'll try to get away safely.
Yeah, that brings us back. So, Wendy, are you backing away?
Yeah.
All right. So, are you heading back to the Hunters Club, basically the Hunters area?
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but
yeah,
that's where I'm going.
Your short rest. All right. Yeah. And Meepo will follow on your heels. Just okay. He's out. Logan,
I'm following them.
you're out.
You don't want to save
SPJ and D Pepper, are you still wrestling?
They didn't need saving. They're coming to kill us. Just leave.
Team. We're a team, SPJ.
D Pepper and I will leave.
All right. Emojis.
I will follow suit.
All right. So you all sort of like back out of the okay, this was just a thing that happened. Don't talk about it. Fine. Everybody happened in the tunnel. Stays in the tunnel. Out. So you all sort of leave, and you can sort of hear more. You can hear them in the ground, but they aren't pursuing you. They seem to be at least content that you're not going further into their territory.
It's like that movie Tremors.
Yes.
The what? Sorry?
The movie.
It's like that game Pokémon.
I didn't know you were so skilled in divination.
I know a lot of things.
All right. So you're back in the sort of stinky, gross cavern where the bugbear hunter lived and ate and did other things in here. So the only other way out is back into the mushroom compost room.
You said there was sort of a side room in the mushroom compost room that we didn't check out, right?
Yep.
Well, I say we look at that.
All right. So you march across, kind of going through the big mushroom fields and sort of avoiding the obvious poop.
Did we already take a look at these mushrooms and figure out what they are?
Yeah, they. You tried to figure out what they were last time. They seem to be unique to this area.
Mm-hmm.
They don't seem malicious in the fact that people have run into mushrooms that have actively attacked people. These just seem to be large, slightly warped strain of mushroom. You do not feel that you could eat them.
But
they don't
pluck one
seem
of the
to
smaller
have
ones and keep it with me.
Okay. Yeah, it pulls up easy. The roots aren't that deep. So you cross this giant, it's a big room, and you try to cross to the far door. It opens up into a long hallway, which you follow down, and you come to a part where it looks like, much like above ground, like somebody had dragged a sword through the ground. There's a similar sensation down here. It looks like this was once a complete hallway, but something happened to cause it to violently shift and rend apart. So instead of sort of like the nice pristine walls that you're used to, there's sort of a giant cut in the earth. Directly across from the cut, you can see that the hallway does continue as if it was still part of the original structure. But it looks also that you could either go to your left or to your right down this sort of rend in the earth. Stant can see off to the left there is something shiny, sort of glittering off in the distance, but it's also moving.
Y'all, it's shiny. Let's go. Come on. It's interesting. It's fun. Left is the way to go.
Well, last time we thought, we'll go. We'll just go.
You gonna say something about some weird drill worm things?
Maybe. Don't get upset when I put a big ice dome on top of it, though. If this thing is bad.
All right, so you trudge down to the left. The rift sort of starts to narrow down. So where you get to the point where you can actually see it will come to an end. And you sort of, now that you're down here, you see off to the left, there's like a little alcove in there. And you can hear and see the sort of large bug-like creature that looks like it's made out of metal. That's currently actively just sort of eating the stone.
Sizor.
Durant.
Oh, Durant.
I feel, because it's smaller. If it's a Sizor, we're in. Sure.
Yes.
Let's see. Once you get close, you sort of notice that it has 4 feet. It's got sort of an arrow armor shape on its head, and then sort of got like Stegosaurus spikes on its back that are also made out of metal. It's got sort of a big, massive jaw, and it's just sort of munching and eating on the ground. And it notices that you're there, but doesn't see you as its food source, and doesn't really seem all that interested in dealing with you.
Do we know what Pokemon this is? I don't know what this is.
I
think it's a Lyron, or the evolution of it. We should call it Toaster.
It does look like a toaster.
My character...
I stop and draw this.
My character runs towards it and tries to jump on it to ride it.
All right, make me an animal handling check.
You're having an exciting day.
Wait, it's a Lyran?
Yes.
Yeah, Lyron.
What am I doing?
Animal handling.
Animal handling. That's a +5. 14.
All right, so you run, close the distance real quick, sort of jump on its back. It's warmer than you expected. You'd think, it's metal, it'd be cold, but it's, it's a living creature. You sort of slide in to position, so you're sort of straddling the Lyron, and it sort of looks up for half a second, and then just goes back to eating.
Can I make it like a nature check to see like what kind of danger this thing poses?
Yep.
All right. So +4. Stan's not really with it today, but that's a 9.
Judging just by what you can see and sort of how you know how it's sort of built, just sort of your innate druidness, it's well armored. It doesn't seem to be aggressive, but if it decided to attack you, those spikes would hurt a lot. Seeing as it's sort of on its own and it's just sort of eating, you sort of get the sense that it doesn't have any sort of necessary violent intentions towards you, but if you really probably make it angry or try to attack its food source,
or like tried to ride it,
it might turn on you. But right now it seems to, it doesn't seem to care that SBJ is on its back.
This thing's
it's
real
also
chill.
not really listening either. It's just sort of happily eating.
It's just
Does Meepo know anything about this creature that he can tell us? Hey, Meepo, what is that? Speak.
So Meepo sort of stands there and stares at it, and those are metal bugs.
Oh, wait, what?
Thanks, pal. That helps us a lot.
Sometimes our parties can take one down, and then we can take their scales and use them for shields.
Oh.
Oh.
I don't think Stant likes that, so don't tell him.
I mean, you got to use whatever parts you can use. It's just natural.
You have to use all the parts of the metal bug.
Right. I just don't want you to torture one and keep it as a pet forever against its will.
Breakfast.
Breakfast
Sorry.
is here fully with his will. I have talked to him. He loves me very much. Thank you very much, God.
Just let us take your word for it, because we don't we don't speak breakfast.
Correct.
We don't eat breakfast.
We don't eat breakfast.
Yeah.
Meepo.
I sort of take a few steps forward and see if the thing is threatened by my doing so. I don't want to threaten it. But I don't want to just say like I walk to the other side of the room in case it starts to like.
Make me an animal handling check.
Okay.
Wendy's good at those things.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it was
It's charisma based.
I was close.
Can I just stand and say, "Here, kitty, kitty," and see if anything happens?
You could.
Oh wait, because it's a Pokemon, it's charisma based, right?
Yep.
So it's just a flat D20 for me. 12.
So you sort of approach cautiously, sort of keeping your distance, but striding towards it, and it watches you for a little bit, but since you aren't making any sort of overt threatening moves, and you don't seem to be going towards its food, which is rocks, it just sort of happily just as they're eating.
Okay, I keep walking. I go on my merry way.
All right, so once you get into this big room, you sort of pass it. You just see that this is just a large sort of natural occurring rift. Maybe less natural, not that you sort of see that something's been eating in here. You kind of get the sense that maybe this is just where this particular Leiron lives and eats, and has just been sort of eating away part of the castle. And so you sort of see how the sort of jagged area is in here. And you sort of get that this thing has probably been here for a while and has just basically eaten all of the rock. And this is just what he does.
Oh, here since he was a little baby Aaron.
So there's probably nothing in here because it's just a cavity created by a hungry thing.
Yeah, I mean, you sort of do a
Is there
cursory check, and there's nothing all that interesting.
Is there any way forward?
Not in this area. You can go back down the rift that you think it's created and down the natural hall, or go down which would have been the right, and see where that one leads.
I'm nervous. Is SBJ having a lot of fun riding on the Leiron, or
no? I'm pretty bored right now, so I got off.
All right.
Let's go back and go rat.
Yeah, let's go backtrack.
All right, so leaving it behind. So you go back. Do you want to go down the actual the man-made or dwarf-made hallway, or continue down sort of the natural rift?
Let's go the natural rift.
All right, so you follow the natural rift. You sort of pass the hallway, the continuation of the hallway, and you pass the hallway that you came from, and you go sort of trekking down, and eventually you come into kind of like through the back wall of a small room. It looks like at one point this was probably a bedroom or a common room. It's not that big. It's only about 20 by 20, and there is a door sort of straight in front of you. But whatever was once in here, if there was furniture or markings or anything worthwhile, is all gone. It's just sort of a bare stone carved room.
Did anything?
Any other exits?
Just,
Or I guess can we look
perception check?
around?
Yeah, can we?
Yep.
Perception?
I mean, you don't see anything initially other than the door out of here. There is a door opposite of where you entered in from the back through where the Leiron ate in.
Mm.
I'm gonna do a perception check and just kind of glance over the room here.
Okay.
Me too.
I'll do the
Looking
same.
for shinies.
10.
11.
8.
Mine is.
How do you have a +6?
Because Stant took he's got observant, which gives him a ton of extra stuff for perception.
We're not gonna talk about
yeah.
my role. I just want to go through that door.
Yeah, none of you see anything. There's really nothing of interest in this room other than the door out. There's just anything that was once, and you can't even tell if this was a bedroom or a sitting room or anything. It's just basically all you see are 4 walls, a door, and the hole that you came through.
Guys, keep pressing forward. It's just a room. Let's start sniffing
All right.
around.
Is there actually a way out of here?
Yep,
Yeah,
there's a door.
Okay, yeah, let's keep going.
All right, so you open up that door and you come into a very familiar looking hallway. You've seen this type of hallway before. It's a long hallway. It's got 6 columns that are holding up the ceiling. On each column, there is a figure carved into the
Column.
into each column. So this one is far different than any of the other columns you've seen. The first room you saw the Dragonite columns, and they were all sort of happy. The second one of columns you saw the 3-headed dragon that looked much more menacing.
Hydrogen.
This one is even darker. This creature has sort of a very large head with sort of 2 pincers. It goes into a long body that has 6 legs and a long tail. It's got giant wings that are sort of ragged and ripped that have 6 spikes on the end of it. What's most disturbing about this particular figure is not it, but what it's doing to each humanoid in that. On one column, you sort of see a small halfling-size creature who's hanging upside down. This odd, sort of terrifying dragon has its legs in its mouth, and you can kind of see that it's basically devouring it from its legs. You go to the next column, you see a sort of a dwarf creature, about dwarven size. You can't tell if it's male or female. This one, however, has its hands up in the air.
Does it have a beard?
This creature is basically devouring it from its hands down. You go down to one more column. This one is a human size. This one, it's standing straight up. Its arms and legs are sort of hanging limply to its side because this dragon creature is devouring that person's head. Sort of go to the next column. You see an elven creature. It's hard to make out male or female. Again, these are all sort of old and vague. This one is sort of laying sort of prone on the ground, and this creature is devouring its heart. And then the 5th one, you see a person is sort of just sort of hanging with their head down, and this creature is basically biting off its shoulder. And then the last 6th one is the most unusual of all. It's just that figure alone, sort of giant wings enveloping around, and it sort of seems like it's giving power or pushing power towards dwarf figure. And this dwarf you sort of can start to make features out of. Wendy, it sort of triggers a few memories of what you heard what Dragonheart looked like, but you can't be sure.
So
Are these like predicting us to die? Also,
yeah,
That was my guess too.
what's this dragon? Which dragon is this?
Giratina.
Oh, Giratina! Holy moly! Yeah, that would make sense.
I'm not convinced that it's predicting we'll die. I mean, Ephraim has said there have been previous groups that have the same organization as us, each of them having the same sort of tattoo structure. Like some people are the arm, and some people are the heart, and some people are the head or whatever. And I think this is a previous group that might not have fared so well.
And we do know the dwarf had a beard, and Wendy does not have a beard, which would have been
It's true. That's very true.
That is true. And also, and you said
unless you're able to grow a beard very quickly, and we do not know that yet. But as far as
I cast beard. Although what's confusing me is the dwarf looks a lot like Dragonheart, and
Stant notices it first, but Ephraim has gone completely pale white. He is 100% in complete fear.
I guess since I don't.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I sort of once Stan notices, I turn and I ask if everything's okay.
He sort of ushers you all back into that other room. Like, quickly, let's go back to the other room and talk. And so once you get back to the room and he sort of shuts the door, he says there were stories around Dragonheart's time that there were chosen.
Okay.
I didn't want to be the one to tell you that your aunt was one of the chosen.
So she and
5 others had all fallen under his sway, and they were all dead when your grandfather found them. And nobody really knew what he had done or what had happened, or what terrified your grandfather so much. It would seem that he made a very dark deal, and your family, amongst others, paid the price.
So, okay, this is a rough time for this, but how come there's 6 of them? You said there was only 5. Are we missing 2?
No, Dragonheart was not one of the chosen, from what I understand. He just gathered them. And
is Dragonheart the dragon, or is Dragonheart a person that can become a dragon, or is it a person?
Dragonheart was the dwarf that built this fortress that, from what Wendy remembered, was driven from Dwarven society for worshipping dragons. And nobody really knows the full story of what happened.
And
it looked like he was getting some power from the dragon, though.
Yeah, and then Oakhart just told us that Wendy's aunt and grandfather followed Dragonheart.
Wendy's aunt was under his sway, and Ephraim knows that she was one of the chosen. Wendy's grandfather hunted her down to bring her back.
And then, not to get specific, you're using the term chosen. Weren't we described to be chosen, but are you saying chosen by Dragonheart?
No. chosen with the
They
same
were-
symbol that you have.
Yeah, they had the tattoos too.
Wait, so Dragonheart
It's-
also had the
He did not.
Would Dragonheart?
No, it sounds like my aunt and the rest of their party were chosen like us, but were led astray by Dragonheart, if I understand it correctly.
Correct.
It now makes all so much more sense. I was just really confused. Like, gotcha.
And
I'm sorry, Oak. You just speak crazy words and got to get all these family secrets out on the table now before we figure out what we're gonna do next. Sorry about that.
So why'd you take us out of that room, Mokart?
Yeah.
He did. I didn't know this was here. Also, you notice that once you've been walking around that hall, as you sort of ushered back, there were a number of different doors leading out of this room. You counted about 6 in total, including the one that you came out of. But Ephraim says he didn't know. He didn't know that this was here. He had because of the Tartara tree and the apple. It was a surprise to him that everything was in the old Dragonheart fortress. And this new piece just makes everything much darker for him.
Yeah.
He seems to also be now convinced that there's no way his party is still alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's not think about bad stuff like that while it's not confirmed, buddy.
I will do my best to remain positive.
But
I like that.
yeah. So you don't think we should go further in here?
Well, if nothing else, I would like to see if I can retrieve their bodies to return them to their families.
Yeah. sounds
or-
like a good plan.
Or remaining positive. Perhaps finding
there-
them still alive.
Okay, guys, do we have any way we can do this without going into that room? Or are we gonna have to go back in that room?
Well, there's probably really super rare Pokemon in there, and I really still like. I mean, with all due respect, I really want to draw
Okay.
those things.
I mean, we gotta follow our passions, and if you want to draw that Pokemon or creature,
I do. Let's go. Let's just go back in there.
check it out.
As-
All right.
Yeah.
So you go back in.
Oh wait, what? Wendy is Wendy?
Oh, Wendy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as we walk in, I think Wendy would be so fixated on learning all of this information about her family's past that she is kind of.
Can we all do a perception check?
Sure.
I think she would be, even though the conversation has moved past her. I think she hasn't. I don't think she has moved past that topic yet. So I'm gonna ask Ephraim. What did you mean about this this dark deal that you said with my grandfather?
Dang it, Dunsparce! Get out of here, Dunsparce!
The angry Dunsparce are back.
Dungeons and Dragonites, directed by Christopher Nolan, with a score by Hans Zimmer.
So he sort of takes a breath, and he doesn't. I don't know much about your family's history. What little I do know is your aunt justifiably believed she was meant for something greater. From what little I know, she and the others had put their faith in Dragonheart, believing that their purpose was whatever he had convinced them to do. Your grandfather became aware that Dragonheart was not the purest of people. He tended to make sacrifices of others on a regular basis. Stuff he kept hidden from the five, from what I can understand, until he was prepared to do whatever he did. Your grandfather finally tracked him down in an effort to bring your aunt back, but by the time they arrived here, they were all dead. Your grandfather said they had died by their own hands. I don't know if that's true or if he was sparing your family name, but they sealed this place off and left. They never did find Dragonheart, but they assumed he was still somewhere in here so that he would have perished when they sealed it. And then when this apple showed up in the same rough area, I was curious enough, and I hoped it was not connected. I fear Dragonheart has created some sort of lasting curse or some sort of lasting effect that does not mean well for this world.
You know a lot about all of this.
It is my job to study history.
Sick burn.
I think I'll stop conversing at that point. Yeah, I think I have what I need to know.
Is there any weird sensation of like magic or anything in this room? Is it just that we're just bad memories? You know what I'm saying?
It's just it feels much more oppressive here. It's hard to tell if it actually is more oppressive or it's just the fact that you're sort of seeing all these people sacrificed to what looks to be a dark god that's making you uneasy. But it doesn't. You don't feel great being down here. Standing back in the room with all the columns, you do see that along the wall there are 3 doors on this side. You come out of this one. There's a door here. There's a door here, and then on the opposite side there are 3 doors.
Okay.
Who is making perception checks?
Okay.
A long time ago I did. I got an 11 when I did it.
I got a 5. Can I roll again?
But wait, is it? Are we making new rolls?
This is new perception checks for being back in the room.
Back in the room roll. Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's.
This time we're gonna do it good.
Well, they do that.
Hey, 24. Hey,
I got 15.
Got a 4.
Suck at everybody less than 24.
So Stant and Emojis can hear that there are goblin noises coming from behind various doors. If you want to take the time, you can sort of pick out which doors they're coming from. But now that you're sort of pausing and listening, you can sort of tell that there are goblins in some of these rooms, not each of them. What was Wendy doing? I'm
starting to get I'm starting to get a little suspicious of Oakheart, so I'm just keeping my eye on him.
Okay. Meepo is just sort of following behind you, sort of staring at the scary statues. He doesn't actually seem very scared of them. He seems more in awe of them. Like the sacrifice that's happening on them does not seem to affect him in any way. Like, it's not shocking or horrifying.
Yeah.
It's just...
Hey, buddy, this kind of stuff go down a lot where you come from?
Yes.
Like, how recently?
The weak are sometimes killed.
But I was talking about time, though. Like, last week?
Yes.
What because of that apple thing, maybe? Is that?
Oh no. Sometimes they get wounded. Our dragon wounded 4, and they were weak and too weak to carry on, so we had to deal with them.
I'm sorry, Ephraim.
Bagel? Wait, I'm so confused.
When we found the dragon that we left behind, my dragon, when we found it in its nest, it injured 4 of us very badly, and they couldn't carry on.
4
we dealt with them.
kobolds. 4 kobolds. That was last week. So just some.
Oh no, that was months ago. Last week, some rocks fell on some people, and that was bad, and they couldn't carry on, so we had to deal with them.
and dealing with them is like
Deal
these
with
statues.
the rocks?
Yes, those who can't contribute aren't allowed to continue.
Hey, Meepo.
Yes.
You remember when, things weren't looking too good with you? Remember when Bagel, the dragon, had you down for the count?
He tried to kill you.
Yes.
But you made it out, right?
Oh yes, because Wendy is very powerful.
Your words, not mine. But I want you to remember that moment because I know it's hard to change the things you've believed for a long time, but sometimes it's good to help your friends who even if it's hard for you, it's always a great thing to do to help your friends, even if it looks like they aren't going to make it. It's the right thing to do.
I think she's saying even if your friend gets hit with a rock, don't feed him to a dragon.
That's a more eloquent way of putting it.
I mean, that's why I said we should put this thing on a leash. But that's
Okay, I can try. I don't have powers,
Thanks.
but I have powers now. I'm getting stronger.
That's right.
great.
You got to get Meepo some children's books.
Yeah.
Read them to him.
My son, the kobold.
All right.
Wait, never.
How are we going to tackle all 6 of these doors?
Well, we just hear and understand there are creatures behind some of them.
Yes, and they're making
Specific
similar noises to goblins, but you can't pick out how many there are.
I'll listen on one of the doors until I hear goblins and see if I can hear what they're saying.
Can I?
Yes. So sort of looking at the room, left side or right side, where do you want to start? You came out of the door on the left side, so there are 2 doors left on the left side.
Left 2.
Can I do right 1?
Yes. Okay, right 1, you do not hear anything. Left 2, you do hear 2 goblins sort of arguing and wrestling. The conversation. Not
I'm
all
gonna
that
say
interesting.
easy.
It's PJ. Come on.
Guys, wait. I don't hear anything over here. As in, we can probably open this door safely.
We can open this door safely. There's just 2 of them. Let's just beat them up.
Do we need the experience points at this time?
We always need the experience point.
Don't open that door.
What do you want to do? So the right 1 is silent. Left 2 has goblins that are apparently wrestling inside.
I want to go to door. I want to check out right.
1, right?
Can I summon a familiar that can move through the door?
Not that can move through the door, but you can call your familiar forth if you wish.
No. Well, if he can't go through doors, then it's useless at this time.
No.
Can I go to right 2 and check it out, please?
Yeah, so you listen at right 2 and you do hear a couple of goblin-y noises, then every once in a while you hear sort of an angry, frightened squeak.
squeak. And I will then move to right 3.
Right 3, you do not hear anything.
You just sunk my battleship.
No! Well, I don't know. I found another door that doesn't have any noise, guys, so in case we want to progress, we can choose one of these. But don't go behind this door, pointing to door number 2, because there's not a brand new car behind it. I mean...
Can Stan hear the squeaks?
Yes.
Does it sound like a distressed animal or Pokemon?
Make me a nature or survival check.
Okie dokie. Nature is +4. No, it's +6 because I have. +4. I got a 13.
It doesn't sound happy.
But I don't know if it's a Pokemon or an animal.
And it could be angry. Sorry, I don't hear anything, I guess, right?
Yeah. I mean, you hear the same noise, but you don't know what it means.
Stan's concerned enough. We should probably go in this door, guys. Just make sure there's not like an animal being tortured.
We can't save them all. Stan, we can't save them all.
I'm not trying to save them all. I'm trying to save this one.
Sick burn.
Our definition of sick burn has slipped this episode.
Sick burn can be anything. So, does Stant wish to open right 2?
I'll firebolt you.
Hey guys, we should go in here. Just make sure this isn't an animal being tortured. Everybody, just not say anything is agreement. Okay, I'm opening the door. Boom.
All right.
Wrong door!
So, Stant does a quick monologue, checks for no confirmation, and throws the door open. Okay, so inside, this room is sort of, it looks like there are shelves in here at one time. There are still hints of stone shelves on the walls. What you immediately see are the backs of 2 goblins who are sort of have their backs to the door when you throw it open. Against the far wall is Eradicate, who looks like he has those mushrooms from the other room sort of growing out of the side of its, like the left side of its face and the left side of its body. It looks to be in some amount of pain, and these 2 are at least trying to, like, figure out what to do with it. Along the sort of left wall shelves, you just see a bunch of different vials of various liquids that you don't immediately recognize. And off, kind of piled up in the corner, are 2 sort of explorer packs, which Ephraim immediately recognizes as belonging to his party.
And there are no other entrance or exits in this room?
Not in R2. And the minute the door opens, the goblins turn around to stare at the 2 people that have entered, and the Eradicate is sort of along the wall, just hissing and squeaking and looking angry. And we are going into combat because you have invaded.
Because.
That's the wonderful things he does. I got a 19.
I got a 13.
I think I'm +3 initiative. Yes, I am. And I'm gonna roll crit!
Dag, yo. Don't you kill that Eradicate. We're gonna nurse it back to health and we're gonna be best friends.
Yeah, I think anyone was planning on attacking the Eradicate.
I don't want to kill anything. I just want to save the world, Stan. And sometimes
saving the world means you have to burn it down.
Sometimes
Yes.
that's a little dark. That's a little dark.
You have to kill a few Eradicate to make an omelet, okay?
Sometimes you gotta.
But we don't eat breakfast, I thought.
Sometimes you gotta save everything you ever come across just in case it saves the world.
I honestly am kind of with Stan's opinion here because it really turned out well with Meepo.
Hashtag Team Stan. You heard it here first. Wendy's on Team Stan.
Just this once. Don't get used to it.
Is Meepo going to develop into a love interest, or
Develop
Meepo
into.
is my
They're
son.
already there.
oh, your son? I'm
All
sorry.
right.
Sorry.
This has gotten real weird real quick. So we're going to jump into combat with Emojis being the first one. Super happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm. I have the biggest kill count going, and I'm gonna stack back up on that. Am I able to use my new spells yet, or no?
Yep.
I am. Well, I think it's safe just to use fire. But yeah, I don't even
Firebolt.
notice. Firebolt. Thank you. I did add Witch Bolt to my collection because it's in the family of spells that I'm studying. But since there are only 2 goblins in this room, right? They're goblins, right? I'm gonna do a simple firebolt because it's safe and free cantrip, which means I roll a what am I rolling? A D10?
D20.
20
With a D20.
plus 6,
20,
right?
That's
Yep.
D10 for the damage.
Uh-oh. I rolled an 11. Did I hit?
No. So you shoot off at the goblin. The goblins
Come on!
you are sort of like, I can do it. No, I can't. And it sort of shoots up ahead and over its head.
But I didn't hit the eradicate, right?
No.
Alright, so my...
Ephraim steps forward since he is next in initiative and just decides to ninja longsword the closest goblin because he is not the greatest of all spellcasters. So, yeah.
We already know Oka is like a champ, so...
He is a champ.
Only when he's not talking to the sky or whatever.
Yeah, so he just walks up to one of the goblins and just sort of runs it through, pulls back, the goblin falls over. He shakes the blood off of his sword. And it brings us to Wendy.
I run up to the remaining goblin. I'm actually gonna... no, I don't need to. Well, yeah, I'm going to, for the finesse. I'm gonna drop my shield so I can two-hand my... Well, put my shield on my back or whatever, so I can two-hand my warhammer, and try and crack it against the side of the remaining goblin.
Jeez, Wendy, you don't need to be that angry.
19.
Oh, yeah.
And yet here we are.
So
Clobber.
since I did two-handed, it's gonna be 1d10 plus 2. It's an 8.
Yeah, so you just sort of store the shield, get a good grip, and just crash down on the goblin and just crush it to pieces.
Yeah, and blood splatters.
Feels
good.
And that brings us to Stant.
I will roll animal handling on the eradicate to calm it down.
Okay.
Look for you to help me out here, SBJ.
Okay, Stanley.
He almost knows my name. Yes.
You're that one fan you can't remember the name of.
All right, so you approach and do all of the sort of standard calming everything, and you immediately can tell that this creature is. Your best estimate is it's akin to being rabid. It's just super aggressive, most likely in a tremendous amount of pain from what's happening to it. And it's just not paying any attention to you. It's just sort of hissing and scratching and actively looking like it's going to come and hurt you. And that brings us to SBJ.
Logan rolled 12. I will also crack my knuckles at some animal handling here.
Okay.
Maybe between the two of us, we'll be able to get this thing calmed down enough to get it figured out.
I rolled a 22.
All right. So you sort of you're kind of approaching from the other side and trying to impress for it to calm down. It seems to back off from actively wanting to attack, and it now just seems to be in pain. It sort of is cowering off against the wall. You get the sense that it has no idea what's happening to it, and it's just afraid and in a lot of pain.
If Wendy or Emojis, you got anything we can get rid of a poison on somebody?
Are we still doing things in turn order?
Yes, we are.
I'm gonna check out the on my turn. I'm gonna check out the vials that are on the
shelf
and see what I find and see if maybe anything can help.
Well, can I use
All right, hold on.
I mean, I kind of know what I can do, but I don't know what to do. Isn't it Meepo's turn?
Yes, Meepo steps forward and fires a firebolt off at the Raticate, and it misses.
Meepo, we're doing a thing.
Hold on, Meepo.
Teamwork.
We this thing doesn't mean us any harm. We shouldn't fight anything that doesn't mean us any harm.
Wendy, watch over your child.
He sort of stares at Wendy for a second. But it's in pain.
That's exactly why we should help it, buddy.
I was helping.
Right, or that thing where if your friend gets hit with a rock, don't feed it to a dragon.
I understand, Meepo. I understand you. You're trying to put the thing out of its misery, and that's not. And sometimes that is the right thing to do. But first, you got to try to see if you can help it before you decide that its time here is over. So we're gonna try and help.
Wendy has magic superpowers. Wendy will make it better. Okay, I'll wait.
Exactly.
So he goes and stands off to the side. That brings us back up to the top with Emojis. So right now, Stant and SBD sort of have it cordoned off and somewhat under control.
I mean, I guess I will help Wendy and Edgen in advance just go grab the vials and bring them over to the Eradicate.
All right, so you can go over to the vials. Make me an Arcana check.
Oh man, can I just use my mage hand and move it?
Well, no. I mean, you can.
You're looking at the labels, right?
You're just sort of trying to figure out what they are.
I got to be able to see if I can read. Gotcha.
They're not labeled. You just got to be able to see if you can figure out by looking at them what they are. That's going to be an Arcana check.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Guys, I'm smart. I rolled a 23. Watch it. I can.
All right. So, as you sort of are scanning over the jars, there are two on the side that you immediately recognize are similar to the berry juice, and you sort of discount them. There's 2 more healing potions in here, so those aren't what's causing it. Scanning the rest of it, it looks like you've never seen this sort of application before, but you've seen similar type of magic. These potions are like a super type of fertilizer. You kind of pour them on plants and they will grow quickly. You've never seen them altered in this way, that if you pour them on a living thing, that would also then happen. And that seems to be what's happening here.
So, this is kind of a general D&D question. I mean, I was going to try to be cool and roleplay, but now I'm really confused.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, guys, this stuff heals people, but you just said I ignore it, right?
Well, I mean, you know that there's 2 healing potions. You know those immediately, and you know that can't be what's causing what happened to Eradicate.
Can I analyze the one that's causing what's happening to Eradicate and try to reverse it? Is that what I'm supposed to try to do?
Yeah, well, you know roughly what it is. You don't know if you can reverse it, but we can certainly make some checks to see if you can.
Well, guys, I think the Eradicate had been, or the creature in the room, I don't know if we know what it is, has been infected by this potion, this evil potion. And Greg, I want to see if I have the ability to counter it.
We will see if you can when we get back around to you. We'll still kind of go in order just to make sure that everybody is doing everything. Ephraim, seeing that you have the Eradicate in control, isn't going to attack. He's just sort of keeping guard by the door. So next in line is Wendy. What would
Is he
Wendy
not going to
like?
look through his friends' backpacks or whatever?
He just wants to make sure that the danger is done before he...
Any...
I forget we're in combat. I thought we were just like combat was over because goblins were dead.
Well, the Eradicate is not necessarily in 100% control.
Understood. It could mega evolve.
Yes.
And take us down.
And a long time ago.
What kills mushrooms? What do mushrooms not like?
I was gonna say salt, but that's slugs. That's not.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess Meepo kind of had the right idea trying to burn them.
Yeah, we just need a really controlled burn.
That seems like a recipe for disaster. But also, I can't do that. Let's... I got nothing. I'm gonna... Who's next in the order?
Stant.
I'm just gonna cast guidance on Stant, and for whatever he comes up with, he'll do it better. So when you make an ability check, you can add a D4 to it.
Okay, I have an herbalism kit. Can I look through this and look at the potions on the wall and see if I can make some kind of antifungal medicine?
Yes.
Gotta have.
I will allow either a medicine check or a nature check.
I'm gonna go with nature.
Remember to add that D4 too.
Oh yeah.
D4?
Okay. Nature. So I've got 1d20 plus 1d4 plus 4. Yeah, that's a crit. 25.
Wow.
You think that with what Emojis has found in the bottles and what you have, you don't think you can reverse it like easily. It's not like you can sprinkle it on it and it will immediately go away. You think that you could potentially ease the pain enough that over time you could figure out a way to reverse it. But your sort of initial sort of know what you know about nature, etc., that this is not like an easy fix.
Stant is with Meepo now.
So we're gonna try to put this thing out of its misery?
Guys, we could sit here for what would it be, Greg? Like days?
Wait.
Yeah, days. So, at least days.
Wait. This would take days.
So are you saying I was right?
You could be right all day for the wrong reasons, Emojis. We had to figure it out.
Sick bird.
Stan, as long as you're the one who has, because I'm a little embarrassed now. As long as you're the one who has to explain why you're doing what you're doing to Meepo.
Honestly, I found exactly what I was looking for in my herbalism kit and on these walls, and even still, we'd have to stand here for days to treat this Raticate. We don't have that kind of time, and this poor guy's in pain right now.
Oh, I'm with you.
All right, SBJ.
I got nothing to contribute. I just sit down against the wall and just watch.
Okay.
All right. Well, does that mean it's my turn? Oh, Meepo get to go, right?
Well, Meepo can go, but Meepo's waiting for Wendy to fix it.
Well, then it's my turn, right?
Yep.
So I look at Stan and I say, so I get you're trying to dodge the answer, but you're deciding that we have to end this thing's life.
Yeah, did I dodge that?
This Raticate. Well, no, you're dodging that. I was right. So you give me permission to summon a firebolt right in front of this thing's face and just put it out of its misery.
I want you to put a firebolt in its brain. Did I stutter?
All right. Fire up the firebolts.
Just make sure it don't suffer no more. Oh my god, emojis.
I got really close, so it doubled to 22.
No, you did not. So you're sort of arguing and
With Stan.
And you just sort of haphazardly point, like, I'll just take care of this, and you fire it off, it completely missed, and it just hits the wall.
Everyone skip your turns, I'll do it again.
No, I'm not going to skip my turn.
Having heard the conversation, Ephraim will move forward to...
Ephraim probably got these ninja moves to...
help.
Yeah.
So he swings down, hits very solidly, slices into it, but unfortunately, it's not strong enough to completely put the Eradicate out.
It was like shooting at the heart and missing.
Whose turn is it?
Wendy.
Okay. So I say to Meepo, this was a good lesson. It turns out you were right in the end that best thing to do was to put this thing out of its misery, but because it's otherwise it seems kind of impossible for us to be able to help this thing. But the important thing is that we tried to figure out if we can help, and unfortunately found out we can't. So look the other way, buddy. And I take my warhammer in both hands again.
And probably miss.
It's higher than 11.
Yep, no, that's a hit.
Oh! Mo just missed by 1.
All right, you slam it with the hammer, and it's still not out. It's still hanging on.
This poor guy. Why can't y'all just kill it? We had it standing still.
And that brings us
Stan, we didn't just wake up like yesterday to be murderers. We're trying to do our best.
You did. You murdered like 15 people today. I saw it.
This is the nadir moment of our party. We're just like, we're just all ganging up on this, trying to end this thing's life for its own sake, and we can't even do that, right?
All right, Stan, you're up.
It's like that really rough part of like the middle of a trilogy series. Just awkward and depressing, and it can't end.
All right, Shillelagh hit.
All right. Shillelagh damage is 1d8 plus 4. Okay.
We can't pull the mushrooms off his face, can we?
The 6 finish
You can now because it's no longer a living.
Oh,
There, that's how you finish Eradicate, guys. How you do? We loosened it for you.
But yeah. Oh boy.
All right.
Just not gonna
So
say anything.
it's down on the ground.
Combat is over.
I don't feel so good about this.
Well, so guys, none of us took damage, right? So we can just carry on with our investigation.
No, we just all took turns slaughtering Eradicate. Except for me.
Well, so
this is another. What happens in the Eradicate room stays in the Eradicate room.
a lot of things stay in the place where they are in this campaign.
That's the night. This is just
I was
one
gonna
in the
say,
series.
And they
Shouldn't-
never talked about it again.
so we should pick up these explorer packs over on the floor, right? Before
Yeah. So
we go out?
Ephraim recognizes those as, I mean, he knows it's their parties. And you know the two healing potions are up for grabs. He can,
I'll grab one.
Okay. Cool.
He looks through.
Find anything?
There's nothing special. He takes some of the personal items out and transfer them to his pack, just in case. But he doesn't really want to carry them with. It's just he sort of feels if you leave them in the room, that like we know where they are.
So can I collect the vials that are on the shelf, because I know that 2 of them are healing and 1 also can damage creatures
Yes.
to a slow and terrible death?
Yes.
All right, guys. I think I'm gonna collect these little bottles on the shelf because we could use them later, in case we need them. And we're gonna get out of this room and go into door right 1.
All right. So you enter into door right 1. It's a similar sort of room that you came into when you first entered here. It looks like it was probably once a bedroom or a sitting room. It's been devoid out of any furniture. The only difference in this room is that along the left wall there is a door leading out of here.
Stan, you like to go through doors? Well, you can go first.
All right. Open the door.
All right, so you open the door and walk through, and you enter in a very, very large sort of what looks like it was probably once a grand hallway. It extends off about 200 feet to the left and about 300 feet to the right. It's about 40 feet across. The thing you notice is that this room is lit up by sort of phosphorescent mushrooms and various sort of plants that are giving off light. This sort of looks like a weird twisted garden to you. There are a bunch of, looks like normal vegetables that you've been, that you're used to, like carrots and potatoes and stuff, but there seems to be sort of an intent down here to either grow them fast or grow them without light. You also see that there is sort of an elderly bugbear that's sort of wandering around, pruning various leaves and sprinkling water on various things. And
That's
the minute
adorable.
sort of you walk in, he notices you, and he just sort of just stops.
Just go about your business, buddy. We won't bug
This
you
is
if
a
you
bugbear?
don't bug us.
Yep.
But he's elderly. It's not just crush an old man.
Yeah,
We just crushed Eradicate.
We
I-
cool,
I
bugbear? We cool?
I've just never met a bugbear with a proclivity for gardening. I'm just surprised. Is
Bugbear,
he gonna
bugbear.
try and kill us?
No, he just sort of sits there, and as Stant walks in, the rest of you sort of all following into the
Garden of shrooms.
garden.
Yeah.
So once you all enter in, he sort of sighs and says in Goblin, "Do any of you understand me?"
Yeah, I do.
Okay, good.
Sorry.
I suppose you're here to kill me then.
Nah, man. You just like water and stuff? I'm not trying to kill people who
I do tend the garden.
What happened to your
Yeah, just-
accent?
just keep doing what you're doing.
You speak in Goblin. It changes in Goblin.
Yeah, it's harsher tones. It's a harsh language.
If you don't bug us, I'll just tell them not to bug you.
All right. I have no quarrel with you.
Yeah, no, I got it.
All right. And he goes
Ask
back
him if he knows about the apple.
Yeah, you know anything about the apple?
Oh, yes.
Did you grow the apple?
I do not. That is the master's duty. I have to tend the rest of this garden.
Are you like not from like Goblin Country or whatever? I've never heard an accent like this.
I was raised away from my people.
So why did you come back? Seems like a step down.
I work for the master.
So is it like involuntary?
I work for him willingly.
Oh, okay. Well, wish I didn't know that bit of information, but I guess I'm still not going to tell them so that they won't kill you.
So yeah, what do you tell us? Because like,
Hey,
if
Stan,
you
what
tell
does he
us the
say?
whole
What-
conversation, I have a
yeah.
lot of questions to ask him. But if I don't have that information,
I have notes, questions. Come on, Stan. What happened?
Okay, guys, let's see if you got some more questions for this dude. But he works for the master.
so first
And,
ask who that is.
Yeah.
Who's the master?
Who is the master?
He,
Where's the master?
I'm the master in the ring.
Thank you, SBJ. I know that.
he does
What's-
look at SBJ and goes, "Oh, yeah."
I know, right? Like, are you a fan? You seen
No.
him? Just saying stuff, huh? Just doing whatever.
I've seen a lot of things in my life.
Yeah, I get it.
I love this dude.
You're real chill, bro. What's your
What's his
name?
name? For some reason, I envision myself being really far back. hey, do you know what's his name?
What's your name, bud?
Okay, so, so as Wendy asked, first of all, what are you telling them? Because they've been bugging you.
I'm telling them details. Like I've said to them exactly what I said as Stan to them.
Okay.
But
He just told us that he's here to work for the master, and that's it. And when
they had stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so you ask him what his name is?
Yeah,
His name is Skig.
his name's Skig, guys. It's a cool name. It's cool.
What does Skig know about the mushrooms? What does Skig know about the mushrooms?
Do you grow these mushrooms around here?
I grow the mushrooms in this room, yes.
Ask about the apple.
I did. Hang on. Jeez.
Ask him his name.
Ask him to play Freebird.
Has he heard of SBJ?
No, he hasn't heard SBJ.
Tell him I'm the master of the ring.
He knows
His name.
He at you when he said it.
We should just end it right now. This episode's not getting any funnier.
Skig. All right, hang on. Nobody say anything. I'm gonna talk to Skig. All right.
Does he want to hang out later?
No, I said no. Skig.
What's
all right,
his name?
You make his name's Skig. Okay, you make the mushrooms. You make the bad ones in the other room.
Oh no, that's the master's fine works.
All right, that's good. I would have regretted killing that Raticate just now if you had been here as an expert. So what about that apple? Tell me more about that apple.
What about it?
Like, I don't know anything. Where is it?
It's in the grove with the master.
Where's that?
If you go down to the end of the hall, there's a door. Go through that door. Immediately to the right, there's another door. You go through that door down the hall into the main gallery. From there, you'll take a left into the library. From the library, take the stairs down below and up, and then you'll get to the grove. There's probably goblins in there, and they're not so nice. They most likely would try to kill you.
Yeah, whatever. There's like a million of those tried to kill us a second ago. Okay, Stan draws the map that he described.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, and that's why I said that. Stan will have that.
It's very easy to find. There's not many ways to go out of here.
Okay.
All
I was
right,
gonna say maybe.
So I tell them all the information, just like comprehensively all the information.
So the bugbear does not speak common.
No.
We should have asked that first.
No? Why would we ask that first? That was amazing.
Do you? I guess someone should have just said, "Do you understand me?"
Does he speak common?
No, we don't speak common.
Well, now we have a map to the apple. You told us that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there
Mission accomplished. Objective achieved.
Wait, what does
Level up.
We have so many questions that we still need to ask this thing. We need to ask if there's a cure for the mushrooms. We need to ask if he's seen
I don't think
Bathrooms Party.
Yeah, have you seen a gnome, a halfling, and an elf?
Yep, gnome.
No, there were 2 humans that the master took with him.
Yeah, that. That's the one I was looking for. Took with him. Were they alive?
They were at the time.
How long ago was that?
It's hard to tell time down here. Maybe 2
Make me an
days.
estimate, Skig.
I don't know. 2 days, 3 days, a while.
All right. Well, that's you good dude, Skig. All right, Ephraim. Last time that this guy saw your friends, they were alive.
Well, that's remaining positive.
Right. Yeah. So we're just going to follow this map. Go to that thing.
I am approving that idea. That sounds like something we should do.
You got less fun when you thought your friends are dead.
It's a little heavy on the soul, Stan.
Ephraim, you've changed. No,
Stan, what's his name?
His name's Skig. I told you that like immediately.
No, the guy you're talking to now.
And he doesn't know you. He doesn't know wrestling too good. All right.
Did you ask Gig if there's a cure for the
I guess
mushrooms?
Yeah, is there any cure for those mushroom things?
I don't know. Perhaps the master has created one, but I don't know that he would do such a thing.
Right, his master sounds like kind of a beehole, you know. So he probably not gonna make a cure for him. I could probably do it. I figured it out. It'd just take a week or whatever.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, that's not gonna help us out like while we're here, but
Right.
So,
But in the future.
to the library?
yeah, let's follow this map.
Map.
All right, so you head down the way that he said, and you come to the first door, as he said. And you open it up, and inside you see 6 goblins on guard duty. And you hear Skig say, "I did warn you." And we're going to stop there.
Awesome. Well, I think that wraps up this episode. I think it was a funny one.
Especially that end part.
If I do say so myself, it was a funny one. So thank you for everyone who came out. Thank you for everyone in the chat. I want to give a shout out to the two moderators that hung out to us today. That was Drewski Drew and Tylord95. Thank you guys for moderating. And I want to give a shout out if you guys want to watch another person stream an awesome game. I would suggest heading over to Micah the Brave. He's going to be streaming some Ratchet and Clank on PS4 later. As for that, we will be back next Tuesday at 7 p.m. to do episode 8 that we're more than halfway through the season. Greg and I have been talking about this, but we don't know if we're going to wrap up around episode 10, 11, 12. It just kind of depends on how fast the next couple episodes will go. And then we'll talk about what happens after season 1 is over when we get there. If you haven't done so already and you want to support this show, I do suggest heading over to iTunes and leaving our podcast, the Dungeons and Dragonites podcast, a review in iTunes. That would help other people find the show and make Tuesday nights more enjoyable for everyone. But other than that, you can follow Travis, aka Wendy, at the Travis W, Jeff at JJTD2, Logan at Logan Jenkins, and our wonderful DM, Greg. You can follow him at White Wing. You can follow me on Twitter if you care to do so at Dragging a Lake. Everything there. We have a Patreon, we have a Facebook, we have a Twitter. You guys can read. I trust that you've been staring at for the past 2 hours. So I'm going to take it to standby. I thank everyone for coming out. Like I said, Micah the Brave is going to be streaming some Ratchet and Clank a little later tonight. Thank you all, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.